Watch out around, Dustia.
She is Dooney, so shake your booty. Coming up with this, she's gonna be quiet, gonna slap you and cause havoc. She is Dooney, she's fucking groovy. From the forest to your screen, gonna make you lost, she's looking clean. Such a beauty. Looking for action, looking for lust. Shrinks you down if you let the girl bust. She is Dooney, she's here to boogie. With a big old gang, she could do no wrong. You bet your wrist, this is her theme song.
Okay, that should be good. Hi everyone. How are all of you doing? It's raining. Yeah. I kinda figured it would fit the mood. Yeah. Hey Matthew. Hi Neo. I think it's okay if I call you Neo. Why rain? I I just felt like it was kind of appropriate for what I'm gonna be talking about. It's not exactly gonna be a cheery kind of stream. At least not at the beginning. Not at the beginning. Um, I turned off like some redeems, so like any size changing redeems, anything like that, are gonna be turned off for the time being. Cause this is a pretty serious discussion. Um, I'll probably turn them back on if we have time and after like I'm done with what I want to talk about. Yeah, hey John. Hi Midnight. Hi Delta. Hey Danny. I It really means a lot to me that y'all came here tonight. It, and water, but serious. Oh, I have water. I have water. I'm gonna drink some now. It's gonna be really hard. I will say right now, of course, like, wait until, like, after I'm done with what I have to say. But you guys are free to ask questions. Um, the only thing I will say is, like, with what I'm about to talk about, any questions that involves, like, okay, who did what, who did this, I am not gonna be answering them. Because this is gonna be very vague. This is gonna be very, very vague. Yeah. So, for those that had tuned into my streams for a long time, at least since, at the very least, since like beginning of 2014, in 2014, 2024. God, I am a mess. And even like beforehand, you guys probably know that I talked really positively about Knothole and whatnot, and like I would always just like mention him, just like, yeah, Knothole's a really, really, really fun place and whatnot. And you guys might have noticed that over the past 7 months, I was talking less and less about Knothole. And there is just a reason for that. Um, since the beginning of 2022, I was kind of just like kind of in a depressive mood because you know, friends were basically leaving me behind, cutting ties with me. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you. Basically leaving me behind and whatnot. Someone that I didn't really consider an ex, but I do now, cut ties with me, and that really just depressed me for a while. And, I was just not doing so great until I started tuning into a certain someone's stream, Trixie. I'll say Trixie because, I don't feel I need to be vague about that, but Trixie was just like, she was a great part of my life, and like her streams were just really helping me through just like very, very hard times. And eventually, um, I ended up joining the server through her streams, Knothole. And Knothole was kind of like a very special, um, kind of like a very special, place, I would say. Because before, okay, so a bit about me. Um, I used to think that the only communities I could really be in were the kink related ones because I just felt like any other place, like people were gonna see me as a weirdo and not want to be around me. But Novel kind of changed things for me because like everyone seemed to like me. Seemed to like me, no. They did like me. I'm pretty sure everyone in Naho liked me. Like, unless someone's, like, holding in feelings. But I don't think so, as far as I know. But everyone seemed to really enjoy my company, so Naho kind of just became a whole home for me. And even more so when I just, like, kind of just, like, got closer with, the team. Because, you know, you guys know, like, I was, like, close with, Trixie, but just, like, everyone else. Well, mostly everyone else. I was pretty close with. Um, and, you know, things seemed like they were lifting up. We had, we even ended up going on a trip together last year. We went to New York, um, for various reasons, but the main reason was to go see Sonic Symphony. Um, and you know that was just a fantastic time. Almost everything about that trip was absolutely great, and even now I would not trade that for the world because there's a lot of like great memories tied to that. You know, they're a little bit painful thinking about them. Um, because I'm probably not gonna be able to get something like that for a while. Um, so everything was like going great, and also like if you guys like want more info about this, Matthew, if you can, do you mind if you can link your Google Doc in the chat? If you can, I don't know if you're like really available to do that or not, but um, because like if there's something like I skim over, like Matthew can definitely like put into better words. Um, I'm at home, not doing anything right now. Okay. But basically this summer, yeah. So you guys can look through that doc, and I'm gonna cover like some of the things that like Matthew's talking about just from my own perspective and whatnot. Um, but yeah, summer ended up rolling around. Um, and the server was gonna go through some changes. Um, yeah, I'm glad you're home safe, Cat. Um, made me heart. I imagine it made a lot of people heartbroken. You know, you're not the only one. So it's okay, Cat. Like I haven't really gone into the nitty gritty of it yet. It's just like kind of just like brief like introduction stuff. Um, so you didn't miss much. But summer 2024, you know, we were discussing changes and stuff like that. Um, we were at 12 people, which I will get to in a bit. Um, they were at 12 people. Um, and they were kind of just like, real. And they kind of realized that, like, yeah, a lot. this is hard to manage, at least the server side of things, with 12 people. So, they decided to just basically have the founder's role, or something similar to it, to where certain people that have been there from the beginning and people that have been, like, that, shown they could be trusted, uh, could basically have these keys. And, we were, or they were just like, kind of just like, let's see. Hang on, let me look at the. I don't know, but I'm sorry you had to go deal with the rest stuff. You're an amazing person, Shamer, from what I can tell, so don't forget. Here for you. Aw, thank you, Delta. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I imagine some people won't have contacts, but I'm gonna do what I can to provide it. Um, but yeah, like, there was, like, one night, everyone was just, like, basically just, like, rehauling the server, like, fixing up some things and whatnot. The one thing that happened that ended up being kind of a big mistake was, the way the roles were displayed. So, it wasn't supposed to be like, you know, like, it was supposed to show that just, like, despite, like, the new role and stuff, everyone was still gonna be technically a team, and whatnot, but accidentally, the roles were divided, so you guys could clearly see there was a divide between, hey, Lunar, a divide between, the founders and the team, and that upset a good bit of people, which on one hand is understandable. On one hand, it was pretty understandable. Unfortunately, there did end up being a lot of overreaction. Again, I won't say who did what and whatnot, because to keep this vague, but people got really angry, really petty. They started accusing people of just, like, not, like, trying to abuse their server powers and stuff like that. And it was really, really hard, especially since I was kind of caught in the middle of that. And so, like, and I was trying to make sure everyone was okay. Like, on both sides. Like, I wanted to make sure this person was okay, that person was okay. Like, we can come to agreement so that way, like, everyone can just get along again. Because it took this happening to where everyone was just starting to get pissed off at each other. And, I even helped arrange a meeting so everyone can talk, have their, feelings, have their, like, feelings come across and whatnot, just, like, kind of just, like, show just, like, how they really feel. This will come back again later. But we had, like, the first meeting in August. Because, yes, we did end up having two. When, really, we should have just stuck with one. But yeah, I was kind of just making sure everyone was okay, making sure everyone got their side of the story out, like, and wanted to make sure everyone's feelings were addressed, because, I cared about these people. I really did. Like, and I wanted things to go back to the way they were when everyone just kind of, like, or at least, at the very least, how I perceived it, everyone was getting along, but, turns out everyone just kind of had these feelings for a long time, but they never communicate. Communication was never this team's strong suit. It never was. People had a really hard time communicating with each other, like over like what was said, or just like, or anything personal that was said, or just like, you know, having disagreements. Growing resentment without destroys groups. Exactly. And that's in the end, that's kind of what destroyed Knothole. In the end, was the resentment, and it really, really started to show. Um, when we had that first meeting, thank you, Winter. I'm gonna quickly read what Winter is saying while I stretch. Okay, all right. So, Winter says that was our biggest collective issue, was that we constantly let our anger build up and never chatted about what was bothering us to the people that need to hear it. Exactly. Like, some people would not say anything. What, like, something would happen like a year prior, and someone would still hold that grudge against that person without that other person ever knowing. That's how bad it was. Mm-hmm. But the first meeting I thought went well. Emphasis on thought, because I thought, like, you know, I didn't want to say it was perfect, but I would at the very least think that just like it was a push in the right direction. People would start talking to each other. No, no one did it. It really, really didn't. And they complain about it to other people. There was a lot of talking behind other people's backs, but never to the people who caused the person, so it never was resolved. Exactly. Like, they, like... It was just awful. And when we got to October, like, you know, a month or two had passed at this point. And I thought, well, things are probably, like, you know, that was rough, but things would get better, right? I really hate seeing them telling down to people behind their backs. It was very hard to sit through from. Oh, I'm getting, I'm getting to that. I'm gonna get to that. So, something in October kind of happened, kind of just like all of a sudden, which was, including me, kind of just like very. It was very heartbreaking, but it was also just like kind of surprising. I was not expecting it, and I do kind of still think that it could have be handled a lot better on a certain people's side of things. Like, it could have been handled way, way better. But that kind of just like ended up just like breaking Knothole apart, was that moment. And I proposed we do another meeting so we can talk about this and like get things like all sorted out. And I will say right now, that second meeting was a horrible, horrible idea. It was absolutely horrible. Also, to get back to just like what Matthew said, yeah, me and Matthew went like had to deal with this the worst, I feel, because like this bothered us for so long. Me and him ended up being in a kind of just like a private chat together, like kind of like a private group chat, and everyone was saying nasty, nasty shit. about the the other people involved, and it started to get to a point where it was really, really getting to me. The day we were having the meeting, me and my girlfriend went to the theater to go watch. It was a Bocce the Rock. It was basically an episode compilation into a movie of Bocce the Rock, and I had a good time, but I was kind of eyeing my phone some of the times, checking if everything was okay, and it was just negativity after negativity. And that really, really got to me, and it kind of left me into a depressive mood and just kind of really anxious because I was not looking forward to the meeting, even though it was my idea. Um, and so after the movie and whatnot, I hang out with a couple of friends and whatnot. I basically tell them like what was happening and whatnot. And I'm not proud of this, but I kind of lashed out at them because even they told me the meeting was a horrible idea, and I was just like kind of in denial. I am guilty of saying some of those things because I had a lot of festering anger from the situation, even after trying to talk about it with some of the people I had issues with. So, having a toxic echo chamber open up for me, dump those feelings, and was, in hindsight, not a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I emotionally broke down that day, and I couldn't focus on anything with my brain running 100 miles a second. Mm-hmm. But I did lash out at my friend. I felt really bad about it. But, I had to, immediately go into that meeting. I cried all night listening to everyone fighting. I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm not exactly innocent either. I'm gonna just, say right up, I kind of did some really stupid things during that meeting. Um, I during the meeting, obviously things were not working out. People were angry at each other, yelling at each other, getting pissed off at each other. Um, and I said some things that I kind of I definitely regret it. I definitely regret it because those things I should have said in the first place. It didn't help that, and I'm not trying to deflect blame, but I know I said that there was a lot of arguing and yelling and whatnot, but there was also a lot of times where things went quiet. No one was saying anything, and that kind of made me really nervous, really anxious, because I was just like, okay, we need to do something to make to progress this meeting and whatnot. We're not gonna get anywhere if we just sit here in silence. So I try to direct things. It didn't really work out, and it made me seem like kind of a jerk. It it was really hard to deal with. And you guys might be wondering how I ended up getting involved in the first place. Why I know so much as I do. I mean, Kit ended up getting involved, but only, really just, because he asked. Or just, asked to be involved in the second meeting and whatnot. How I got involved So you know how I said you know how I said that just like earlier, like I was gonna come back to this, that we had 12 people in that team. Originally there was gonna be a 13th person. I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out who that 13th person is. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it sounds like something to look back on as you move forward. I mean, definitely, Delta, definitely. I'm still not happy. It was my blueprints that caused these issues to explode. I feel like I really screwed up when all the Matthew. I'm going to say this. This was not your fault at all. Like, you shouldn't blame yourself for what other people did. I understand that, because I blame myself for some of the things that happened, but, I understand that, because I understand that just, like, when I blame myself for a bit, because, like, the moment I joined the team, it felt like everything fell apart, and I felt like for a while, I was kind of the camel that broke or the straw that broke the camel's back. But I realized that it's not really my fault. It was just people being extremely petty, and holding grudges. And that's really just kind of the thing that destroyed Knothole, was the pettiness and holding grudges against another person. Like, none of this shouldn't have happened in the first place. It really shouldn't have. It if no one had held any petty feelings at all, or used their own hurt feelings to hurt others, Knothole probably would have been fine. But what ended up happening instead is that, to make people's hurt feelings justified, they basically bullied other people out of Knothole. That is essentially what happened. Because I was there to witness it. I did everything in my power to make sure that, you know, like, even after the meeting, because the meeting went horribly, and, I talked to the people that I ended up hurting myself, and, I kind of just, like, figured out that, like, yeah, no, I was wrong. I was wrong to just, like, kind of just, like, back up, like, the other people in this situation, because they were the ones that were claiming that these people hurt them, but in reality, they were hurting these people. To which the lack of communication was a long-standing issue even before we planned that split. Long before, and a lot of us, despite constant spurring to talk about them correctly, never did. If I put anything at fault, it was a growing issue a lot of us shared that went unsolved for 2 years that festered into that moment. Exactly. Like, yeah. Like, the communications were always a problem even before I joined you guys. But it really just exploded during that summer. And I really did everything I could to save this. I really did. Me and Matthew both. Like, we were constantly trying to get people to open up, trying to get people to talk to each other, but no one would budge. And that was really frustrating. It was absolutely frustrating. And it got to a point where more people got involved when they shouldn't have. Like, it got to a point where things kind of exploded in a semi-public channel. Not public to community, but still just like something that should have been kept within the team, where all our friends got involved. Um, and you know, for the most part, everyone just kind of shared their feelings, but one person definitely pissed me off. I won't say who they are because again, keeping things vague, but a lot of people were like that particular person, extremely arrogant, extremely arrogant. Is in nobody moved. Exactly. And then eventually it got so bad, people started to leave. It kind of started in November. And, you know, I. Despite all this, I was hoping. Like, like an idiot. Like, I really thought, like. Well, you know, at the very least, Knothole, like, you know, after these people left, like, Knothole itself would be fine. Because after all, the people they had problems with left, so why would things just kind of be frozen in time? But things kept being quiet. Really, really quiet. Like, we had discussed things about planning on, like, kind of just like, you know, organizing the server again, talking about other plans and whatnot. And of course, also just like kind of like how to introduce myself into the team. We never got to that point, which is really really sad. But like it got to a point. I want to say it was like in March, which by the way, all of this exploded in October, but it got really really bad. Like it just like everything was quiet, no one was talking, even in the team. Like because I saw some people just like in the community. Like if you thought things were quiet on the community side, things were definitely quiet on the team side of things. No one was talking to each other at all. Period. It was getting pretty frustrating. And it started to get to a point with the fact that the server was quiet and the team was quiet and you know the events of October kind of I don't want to say traumatized me, but it definitely was like very like really bad memories started getting tied to this place now. I do blame myself for honing up those plans because I never on my map because of the household I'm in. It's that was just dropped like a rock. I wouldn't blame yourself when I mean I yeah like I know what you were going through and whatnot, and I wouldn't say it's entirely on you. I think it was just like even if like we wanted to go through with these plans, something was gonna hold it back because even besides what we planned on doing, people still didn't make an effort to talk. Like I am sorry. I am sorry, but no. Like the thing like there was like quote unquote attempts, but wasn't it just didn't feel right. And it got to the point where I was just like, yeah, no. I made the decision myself to leave the team because it was not what I initially envisioned. When, like, I mean, and I'll admit this, like, when I was hanging with the team and everything, like I was thinking to myself, well, maybe at some point I could be part of the team and whatnot. It wasn't something like I was gonna just like absolutely like strive for, because it just felt like something like, okay, if they want me to be a part of this, they will ask me and whatnot, or just like they'll invite me. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm just gonna continue to just like hang out with them, because I really did value them as friends. I really did. But then just like once that fight happened, Knothole's soul was basically destroyed. Like none of the things that made like the things that made Knothole great did not survive that fight. Things were bleak, things were quiet, people were not communicating, and it really just hurt the server in general. So it came to a point where I was just like, yeah, this isn't what I was promised, this isn't what I wanted, I'm leaving the team. And that sadly wasn't going to be the only thing I did, because this was in March. A month later, I ended up just leaving the server permanently without even saying a word. Because it got to a point where it's just like, yeah, there was no point. There was no point. Like, this server was not the way it used to be, and because of that, like, there was no point in me making this announcement, like, hey, I'm leaving. Because, like, one, I knew it wasn't really gonna get that much reaction, especially since when I said I was gonna leave the team, I mean, okay, I think a few people ended up, okay, to be fair, a few people did end up reaching out to me and whatnot. So, like, there was that. But when I left the server, no one really reached out to me. Which kind of sucked, but not surprised. I think that was my other biggest pain points, because nothing ever felt like it was progressing again, and even before the split, so it led to a lot of plans being held up and nothing happening. And that culminated with the Knothole rebranding and nothing. Oh yeah, by the way, we were gonna rebrand Knothole at some point. I don't think that's gonna happen now, but just like there was talks about rebrand happening. When that culminated with the Knothole brand and nothing there, I wanted to leave the team too, because I can't wait for something that'll never happen. Exactly. And props to you, Lunar, for just like leaving the team, and like, because at the end of the day, we really saw like what was happening, and we were just like, no, we don't want to be a part of this. And it sucks, because it really didn't have, like I said this before, but it really didn't have to be that way. Like, because I loved Knothole. I loved it with all my heart. I loved the community. I loved, like, what I thought I did. I thought I loved the people running it, but, turns out, like, some of them were freaking jackasses. Like, but I loved everything about things. There was just so much I loved about, like, Knothole. And to see it just, like, become from a former shell of itself really hurt. It really broke my heart. Everything just about that situation broke my heart, because this is not what, like, when I joined the team, I thought things were gonna get better for me, not worse. And now, I don't think I'm ever gonna just like have an opportunity like that again. Because even if like, even let's say like someone invited me to be a part of the team, I would probably reject it because this situation was so bad. It kind of ruined the idea of being a part of a team. I'm gonna be completely honest. It ruined a lot of things for me. I think when you did that, that was the point I realized it might be time for me to move on to, honestly, because you, Matthew, and Casey were the brightest of. Oh. When you left, that was kind of the wake up call that, nothing is gonna happen, is it? Yeah. But nobody talked, and it just fastered in the end. I just want to say to community, just anyone who was part of Knothole, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. You guys didn't deserve to go through that. None of you did. And I wish I realized, like, the damage this whole drama was doing to the community. I really did. I would have pushed back. Oh, I would have just, like, fought a lot harder if I'd realized the repercussions. Because unfortunately, I was kind of focused on the team side of things, only just to, like, try and fix everything. But everything just, like, everything involving this drama just kind of broke everything. I'm really. You guys didn't deserve that. I really did everything in my power, but no one listened to me. Okay, let's see what the kid's saying. Back then I said Knothole was injured and bleeding. That injury got infected and no one took exactly. And it ruined everything. Hagar. Sorry about all this, guys. I really appreciate your support, and I held on to this feeling for 7 months. So all those times where I seemed like I was kind of like stressed or depressed, this is why. When I had that Doonie-thon in December, I mean, part of it was because of holidays, but the other part was dealing with this whole drama. And there would be times where I would tweet something kind of vague, but just kind of point at Knothole, just like, just something to get, like, to use as an outlet, because I was holding in these emotions for an extremely long time. Being a part of friends that could make a team was always a dream of mine. I still wouldn't change the memories was made for anything, but it's hard feeling like I'm kind of on my own in a way. Me too, Matthew. Everyone in our community gave us nothing but love and support for life, and all I can do is work for the rest of my life to at least apologize for breaking that. I will say that Lunar, you were like like you weren't really. I mean, everyone kind of contributed to the problem, but you were the one of the ones that didn't really contribute that much to it. At least that's how I felt. I understand what must have felt for you, and believe me, I do, because I was once in this particular drama not too long ago that made my past cut to me, and basically everyone who I thought were my friends chose not to do anything with me. Yeah, and I've been in this kind of thing before. That's what makes this hurt the most. So I've been through this type of drama before where we, like, basically bully or kick people out. It was not fun, and I really thought this was gonna be different, but it wasn't. Yeah, and I apologize for being slow with chat. I'm just like kind of taking time to like answer any questions or just like look at what you guys are saying. I'm sorry y'all had to go through. Please reach out to people if you guys need to chat. You're not alone. Communication is always key in friend groups. No, I'm not an expert on this, nor do I claim to be. I'm just some bystander on the internet. If people don't communicate with you, then I don't think you should be friends with them. That's just me. I feel like that is very, very important. How much did you cover? Basically everything that I more or less told you, Asri, and then some. I'm gonna put just. I plan on just like doing a brief summary of what I said on here. And a lot of us, you have no idea how happy I am to finally talk about this, because for a long while I didn't want to, because I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. But it's gotten to the point where I could give less of a fuck, like, who I end up like hurting in the process, because like at the end of the day, like I can't conceal these feelings forever. It was gonna explode out, and I would rather just, you know, have it explode out like this than me lashing out at someone again. Um, yeah, I tried so hard to hype up Knothole as the place for Sonic OCs and Sonic OCs VTubers to be. Now I know why it didn't grow as much as I hoped. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I was once part of that band while bullying people until I realized it's been happening to me. Yeah, to me, if you need anything, I went out of my way to talk about. I got you through the worst of it as well. I really appreciate you doing that for me, Kit. Spending time with you and Casey with K was meant so much to me. I finally opened up to release the doc to talk about because of all the pain so many people deserve to. They absolutely did, and especially at this point. Dooney was sleeping too. I was. I had to deal with your ringtones in the morning. One of my favorite moments will always be enjoying that morning with you at the bookstore. Yeah, I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed, like, spending time with you guys in New York, and I would not trade that for the world. It makes it so much more painful. Oh my god. I'm trying to delay as much ads as I can because I would rather not interrupt it. I I'm just glad I don't. And none of you should have to pretend like nothing is happening. That was not fair. I said it before. It was not fair to everyone in the community on what was going on behind the scenes. It really wasn't. I've been working background and having you hearing your side of the story. I do apologize that Knothole has damaged your trust in it. After hearing other people's sides of their stories and now yours, I did eventually leave the server because if it is damaging the trust to my loyal friends, then I not also interacting with them. You deserve better. I really appreciate it, Renee. I love you so much. And this, like, God, this is going on for so long. Yeah, Matthew, you also did a really good job on your doc, I gotta say. Like, your thoughts are probably a lot well put together than mine. I knew it was a. Yeah, like, I don't think lashing out would have been the answer. As much. God, there was so much I wanted to do at certain people, though. It was extremely tempted to just, like, get extremely angry and just yell at someone. Towards the end of writing that. I mean, I get it. I'm getting very emotional now after, like, explaining everything and just, like, the community just, like, really hitting me hard. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay. Might as well use this now. Where's that? If we left to the perfect world, people would apologize, but I know that's never gonna happen. It is way too late for everyone to make up. People made their decisions. People are not gonna, like, not change what they did. It really hurt. It really hurt so much. God. It's like Sonic says at the end of Sing Rings, just cry. Cry as much as you need to. Never feel judged or lesser because you need, because, thank you. Yeah, like... I've been I've been holding this for so long, so it just, like, it feels so good. It feels so good to finally just talk about this. That I don't have to hold in the secret. This very badly kept secret, by the way. I feel so bad for everyone, especially me. I've seen so many outside of the team and friend group hurt with the direction this all went. The community was always the most important part of it. Yeah, most of us just really didn't give a shit. Well, okay, I shouldn't say most of us. I think half of us didn't really give a shit. Like, because, like, I know there were, like, people in the team that really cared about what was going on in the community. They really did. But other people, they didn't give a shit. They really didn't. God. There were times during this time, like, you know, obviously I had that one video of me just, like, kind of a similar situation where I had my hoodie up in my normal outfit, just, like, listening to, like, sad music. There were other times where in Vit channels, I would be very subtle, but I would use that one gif from John Wick. I don't know which one, because I never watched any of them, but I thought, like, it was really relatable. When just like freaking just like John Wick, you know, he has that wine cup, he has headphones on, and he's crying. I'm just like, that is such a fucking mood. It really was. The worst part was Flame and I were up past 3 a.m. before I was about to sleep. I saw that with names on them before it was edited. It was a massive giveaway. This was coming. Yeah. 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 We did everything for her, and that was like I said, like, it's okay, kid. Like, it was not your fault. Like, there are certain people who are definitely at fault, but I will not name them because again, it's very vague. I want things to be very vague, but like, Kit, you're not to blame. Lunar, like, you kind of like change your ways throughout the drama, so I won't really blame you. Well, also not so or make anything exactly, exactly, because at this point, like, and I was gonna get into this. Now that everything is said, what I'm going to do, I stand by that everyone was at fault here. I do agree to that to some extent. To some extent. There are definitely people that were shittier in my opinion. But I'll definitely just leave at that. But where I'm gonna go here from now. Well, I'm gonna keep doing what I was basically doing before. Just being an independent streamer. Because really, all this time, even though I technically joined the team, it was never announced I joined the team. Um, so I was basically just independent from the very beginning. And I'm probably just gonna continue being in that direction. I'm probably gonna continue just kind of just like being um, the fairy that you know, is independent but hangs out with her friends. Because really, at this point, that's kind of what I care about. Like, even like for people just like that are part of teams, like, you know, I respect it. I definitely respect it, and like whether or not I end up joining that team, that doesn't matter to me. Especially not anymore. I just care about making connections with people and spending time. with my friends. That's really all I care about at the end of the day. It really is. I'm fitting you in my skirt. Where? Thank you, Matthew. Your scarf is really comfy. I wanted to be a part of something greater and help out wherever I could. You know, you can hide my cat. Thank you, kid. I really appreciate you.
New toy to play with. Welcome.
Thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Oh my god. But I like, I wish I could hug you and give you some root beer. Oh my god, thank you, Renee. When we get to hang out in real life one day, Renee, it's gonna be absolutely worth it. I can't wait to give you hugs in real life. Mish, you can. You may very well do that. Although I will say there's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, so if you want to wait until like ads are over, or if you think I can read it in time, then yeah. So back for the NYC trip, Casey with K and I made badges for everyone. Probably seen them. Seen them on and whatnot. We still use our art and assets, yeah. And I love that badge to pieces. Like, well, like the art and just like the badge. It's oh my god, Asri, what the fuck? And you know, that art piece still like means a lot to me. I mean, especially since like, you know, obviously me and Casey with K were never on bad sitting with each other. Probably because she was very lucky. She was extremely lucky to not be involved in this crap. Not only was it so we knew who each other was, but also as a memento to remember each other and where we can't come from and what we stood for. Exactly. As I humanly can, thank you, Asri. But now that sentiment feels broken, forgotten. It really has. And it hurt. Everything hurts extremely bad. Like, I love that New York trip, and I wouldn't trade anything for the word, but there are some moments of that trip that hurt really, really badly. Because of the things people ended up doing. Ethan and I spent upwards of a month and late nights trying to make everything for... Yeah. I'm probably gonna take a quick breather, everyone, since the ads are coming up, so I'll be right back. One in the hallway. I just need to figure out how. talking about? You were always that size. You were always that small.
Huh.
It's just, you know, you were spoiled by the fact that I was smaller than you, that you forgot just how big you were.
You know, that's fair. That does sound right.
Yeah, it sounds completely right. And I'd never lied to my friend.
Yeah, that checks out.
Straight gaslighting! Like, let's see. I do think she has a really fun personality. I like her vibe. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry, I scared you. Yeah, what do you want? What do you want?
Oh, I was just gonna say you should play 1,000 Year Door. I played it and it was really fun.
I see. I see. I see.
I really scared you. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't know how to get your attention, so I just poked you. So sneaking didn't work, so our only option is to kill. Have fun. Hey, just come over here. Oh, fuck! I can't. Okay, I am back. Yeah, actually, I'm really sorry you had to go through all that. Like, that was not fair to you. Like, and actually, I want you to know that, like, it felt... Because I did tell you before, like, I basically decided to do the stream that, you know, what... Like, I didn't tell you everything, obviously, because, again, keeping things fake, but I feel like you have a good idea what went on. Hang on. There we go. And Asri, I also want to say I'm sorry that you're going through so much because of all this. Again, none of this is fair, and you shouldn't have ever gone through that. Like, it absolutely was not fair to you. And I wish there was something I could do to make up for it. But just know that you're a really good friend, Asri, and you deserve so much. You are always welcome in my community, Asri, along many others. So others could get some in, and then they never did. Yeah, oh, right, the events. Yeah, you know, believe it or not, the events, like, were also kind of a major fighting point behind the scenes. Because of course they were. Of fucking course they were. But we should never have been held back from their potential. Exactly, Matthew. Exactly. Yeah, thank you, Delta. I really appreciate the work. Don't worry. I want for it to be a little late. I just want to be with you a little longer. I can't do much. Frost, if you need to go to work, go to work. Like, do not let me stop you from going to work. like, I appreciate you supporting me, but please, like, if you have a job, go do your job. Like, it is fine. I had something with my reboot event last year, then told to wait until my next idea so others could claim spots. Yeah. Being a friend of yours is really I can ask for. Maybe a few little other things too, but those are small fun things. Really just even being considered friends is all I can ask for, Danny. Aww. Really, just a lot of people in my community. It may be small, but I just like having these connections with all of you. Oh my. Now I guess like from this point on, I'm just basically leaving Knothole behind me. Like, there's definitely gonna be some times where it's gonna affect me, because that's just how much of an impact it'll have on me. There will be times where I'll definitely think about it. I'm definitely in a better place now. I have friends that, like, love and care about me. I have friends that, like, you know, don't really ignore me. I have friends that will listen to what I say, whatnot. I'm definitely in a better spot than if I had stayed with Knothole. Don't worry about it. I'm not usually late. I still understand why it's late. It's just for 15 minutes. And I consider my friend, so I'm staying a little longer. Okay. It's better to focus on the now than to think about what happened then. Exactly. Like, I have so much I want to make and achieve. I'm gonna keep doing my best, and that's all I'll ever ask of anyone. Exactly. And it goes for the better for you. Thank you, Miss Lady Tell. I appreciate you. Trial and edgy as is, I found myself listening specific to the Path of Pain of Steve from Hollow Knight, as it just showed how I felt. I mean, I know that feeling. I mean, you know, there were songs that I listened to a lot when I was depressed these last 7 months. Now I just kind of have to wonder where to go from here. I mean, well, okay. I know where to go from here, but I just kind of wonder what my whole future holds now. Because I definitely want to focus on myself more. I want to focus on hanging out with my friends or just, like, doing things to help them. Especially now. I will definitely fight. I will definitely fight a lot more for my friends now. I'm going to continue to grow my content. Grow. It so hurts, but the fact that it's all out and people being there for us and vice versa has made me feel the best. I feel really good saying all of this as well. Because, yeah, like, you know, like I said, me and Matthew had definitely been through a lot of pain together. He more or less was kind of like my pain brother during all of this. I don't know if I should joke about that, but it's just like I was definitely always looking out for him. And I especially wanted people to listen to him, but you know, that didn't happen. We go all can finally release and we can breathe for a moment. Exactly. Um and I guess I should say just like I doubt any remaining people in Knothole are watching this or still in the server, but anyone that's still on the team specifically, I really wish the best for you. I really do. You guys just really need to you guys really need to just like take a step back and kind of reevaluate things a lot and see just like how you can save the server if you even want to save the server at all. I don't know. And I really don't care. Knothole kind of dead to me. Hey, happy for you, Siege! I'm so happy for you, Siege! Congratulations, Siege, on passing your exam. I'm really happy for you, buddy. Thank you for everything, Danny. The fact that I'm still fighting wanting to keep making art and being a streamer is because of you and many of our friends holding me up through all of this. And felt like I didn't deserve. You deserve the world, Matthew. Get this Faye an umbrella. Hey, yeah, an umbrella would be nice. I don't remember. Don't want to say who, if they want to say their says, but who was venting to me, and I told them that it could be hard to leave behind something you were proud of, but it's not too late to have a fresh start when there's more to come. Wait for very wise words, Renee. Sounds like you tried. I did. I really did. I did everything I could. And it still didn't really matter. Dang on. Don't worry. I understand what you meant, Delta. Oh. Yeah, everyone who didn't want to be, like, didn't want this drone to go on, really tried hard. Like, really tried. I know you were talking about something that deeply affect. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically at the tail end of it. I'm planning on just, like, making this VOD public. Probably gonna upload it to my YouTube as well. Also gonna be writing kind of like a brief summary of what I was talking about. On Twitter. Or just like on Twitter, on my Discord, etc. No, even I was feeling some of those demons too. Yeah. I wasn't there for the summer meetings, but as soon as that incident happened, I became a part of it. Yeah, I'm sorry that had to happen. Honest, like I said this before, the October meeting should never happen. It should never happen. I should have took a different approach because it was very clear that no one wanted to get along with each other. it was very clear. Like, the one in August, you know, that was just me, like, trying to get everyone to talk, but then just, like, it turned out that didn't work. So, it just, you know, the October meet, I should have done the October meeting. Yeah, I should have just, like, you know, I don't know what else I would have really done, I guess. Due to my show community, but I try. You are wonderful, Renee. You are absolutely wonderful, Renee. And I absolutely appreciate you. So where? So. You know, the later half of 2024 wasn't exactly great. The first half of this year um, was okay. I mean, still had to deal with Knothole stuff that was just like constantly on my mind. So I guess that was kind of an annoying thing to deal with. But for the later half of this year, I'm planning on just like making it better for me. Like, I am going to be focusing on my friends. I'm going to be focusing on myself. I'm probably going to be traveling a few times. Like, you know, I'm planning on going to Sonic Expo in November, the Dallas one. I am playing, like, I might be going to New York again to visit Shino. I might be going to, like, might be visiting my best friend a couple times. Maybe my best friend will visit me. If you ever, you best let me know when. I will definitely. I'll let everyone in New York know. I mean, I feel like Shino would probably let you know, like me visiting, because I imagine you would never want to miss out on that. And then, away from Shino. I'm a 4-hour drive bus ride technically, but I don't want to take the bus again. I never want to take the bus again. I never want to do that unless I absolutely have to, because man, fuck riding a bus. Jesus Christ. I gotta pull out couch if you ever want to come visit, take a ride on. Matthew, I would love to visit. I definitely want to visit you soon. I definitely want to visit. I would not mind going to Tennessee, because it's been a very long time since I've been to Tennessee. The last time I was in Tennessee was like when I was in the 5th grade. When I went to Gatlinburg. Specifically staying at a cabin. It was an okay experience. I mean, except for the part like that the whole family got sick, but you know. Caleb Brightstar, thank you for dropping on by. Welcome to the stream. I am doing better now. I hope you're doing wonderfully. I also would love to visit like Trixie. That is something I definitely want to do at some point. I'm here. Yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And you should feel better doing your whooping someone's ass. Oh no. Thank you, Renee. I really, really appreciate it. Definitely do things for you that make you happy. You matter. Aw. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. So much. You know, this is probably a good time to show off, something that Azri got me. That I'm probably gonna be implementing soon. Um, since, you know, we both left Knothole, we no longer have access to the call Weezamote. But, you know, Azri ended up getting me kind of like a successor to that. The Bat Dooney Weezamote. And I do, like, it's already in my server. But, like, I do plan on implementing this into the stream soon. I didn't do it today, because one, it probably wouldn't have fit the mood, and two, I just did not feel like dealing with that. But on the next stream, I should have it available if you guys want to use it. I never joined Knothole at all. So I can only hope things get better for you going forward. I think they will. They most definitely will. Oh my god, Matthew. Oh my god, you guys and your emotes. Also, another thing to show off, if I can find it. Frost also made this very wonderful fan art. I really love. Hold on. Hang on, Frost. You like shrinkies, don't you, Toonie? No. Yes. The green card. Yeah. Ross, you made an absolutely adorable green card of my Mobian form. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ross, you're a very talented artist. You're very talented. And I love these to pieces. To make it for you, I actually have one more art for you later today. Oh, really? Oh. One, my stream, I don't know how Frost isn't making any money from these, but these are good. I was doing how it goes. Things are now a lot better now that I've let out my feelings. And them has taken off. Oh my god, Chaos Dragon. Finally breathing things straight after the process that was yesterday. It's still a matter of slow steps and healing from there, because I am still gonna be stuck in my awakened state for a while. Yeah. Yeah, it's kinda gonna be a long healing journey for a lot of us. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. I'm probably planning on doing a summary of this later on Twitter, YouTube, my Discord server. But thank you, Kayla. I really appreciate you. Okay, so okay, I can try some of things. So basically, I was gonna be the 13th member of Knothole. I thought things were gonna be fine for me. They weren't. People started fighting. Um, People got really, really petty. Um, Also, yeah, like, Matthew can also, like, share the doc. Yeah, go ahead, just share it in the chat for anyone who needs, more context. Matthew has his own perspective. Yeah, I was in the middle of it. I did something, dumb things. I tried everything I could to, keep, Knothole alive. It didn't work. So I ended up leaving the team and then eventually the server. Mm-hmm. A pain for the people that, if they want to read. Um, sure, sure. I don't know if N is still here. Actually, I can probably still pin it. Yeah, I can pin it. I don't know how much longer, like, I'm gonna be around for, because, like, I mostly just wanted to have the stream to just vent and just, like, Google Ducky. But just, like, I mainly just, like, wanted to talk about what happened, see just, like, if other people wanted to vent. Which, by the way, I really appreciated having, like, Azuri, Matthew, and Lunar's, perspective on this, because it's just, like, Azuri's just, like, you know, I finally got the insight from the community. I probably should have gone earlier, but, you know, I was too fixated on other things. Matthew, because he's a wonderful being, and so is Lunar. So is Lunar. And went to check in on 3 others personally. That is definitely much, much appreciated, though, Kayla. Yeah, a lot of people were kind of hurt during all this. It's Twitter and it ended up being a word vomited mess. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Is there any questions that anyone really has for me for like anything specific? Just again, do not ask me about like this specific person because I am keeping things vague. But at least just like some other insights and whatnot, or really just ask me anything in general. Honestly, that does seem like a right. It was quite the mess. If Jimmy cracks corn and nobody cares, then why does he do it? Dooney? I don't know, Matthew. I don't know.
Jimmy just like really loves cracking corn. That's like his passion. That's like his future career is gonna be cracking corn. I'm feeling a lot better. Can the line have an invite to the server? You mean my server? I mean, sure. It's an 18 plus server, and we tend to like talk about lewd things, but if and we're very like very kinky. But if you're okay with that, then yeah. Do you have your feelings on? Yeah, yeah. Let me go ahead and get the Discord. It should still work. There we go. Mm-hmm. Hope you enjoy your stay. Your feelings on Baja Blah. And I dated Natsu. That's fair. That's fair. That is fair. You know what? Understandable. Have a good day. Your feelings on Baja Blast. I like it. I like it. It's not something I go out of my way for, but like, on occasion I will get a craving for Baja Blast. Wanted to try and nah, you're fine. You're fine. At this point, we're trying to lighten the mood. I have a question. If a polar bear and a hammerhead shark wrestled, who would win? Probably a polar bear. Probably a polar bear. Like, if it's on land, polar bear. If it's in the water, the hammerhead shark. Why don't you say that? I mean, talk about. Lucky I want Taco Bell. May have also joined the server. Yeah! I obviously don't have the full content just from that, so I keep my thoughts myself. Yeah, I mean, we're keeping the, like, we're not going into full detail, like, per se. I mean, I think I went into a little bit more detail than Matthew, but we're keeping things vague to not, to just, like, you know, so people, like, don't go, I guess, all white knight and start attacking the people we're talking about. Because, honestly, we just don't want, like, some of the people we just don't want anything to do with anymore. Wait, hold on. Yeah, because, like, I don't have my donation thing up, so, like, hold on. Aww. Thank you, little. Overall, is to inform, not to call out. Exactly, Matthew, exactly. Bong. Also, I received the spider swords unseen. That I have a feeling this is also probably from Little. Yeah, it is. Thank you. I've actually been kind of curious about that one. Polar bears aren't so dated when they're evenly matched. Walruses can easily bully pairs, so can't see a bully pair handling itself against a shark. Though a hammerhead doesn't have the best odds, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the gift up to Lunar Wolf Matthew. Much appreciated. Yeah, this is very nice. It's really nice to just, like, be able to talk with you guys. Apologies for no size redeems, today. This is just one of those streams where I felt it wasn't appropriate. But I'll probably have them on Tuesday. And Wednesday.
And Friday. Thanks for the hydrate. Much appreciated, little. And the stretch break. I was saying again, you like sizes, don't you, Houdini? Listen, I just happen to be a size difference enjoyer myself, you know? But I don't care, when did you start the... When did you want to start the race we were talking about doing? I know we said around... That's a good question. Well, like... I know a bit ago you were talking about, like, what we should bet and whatnot. I need to take a look at that again. I would say sometime maybe in middle June, late June is probably when I would probably want to do the race. I also need to check if certain things work. I also, like, need to fix my computer because it's been acting really funky lately. Yeah. It's all good, Lil. I don't think we're gonna be that much longer. Like, we're not gonna, like, spend that much more time here. You think maybe cache could be the cache, like, are we talking, like, browser cache? Or just, like, cache in general? Because, like, I think I cleared out, like, my computer's cache, or cache. However the fuck you pronounce that, and it didn't seem to really do anything. I'm planning on having someone, also Discord, I did not even realize Discord had one. Huh. I'll have to take a look into that. I'm planning on having someone, like, take a look at my, or helping me take off the case cover of my PC so I can, like, dust off the fans inside there. How to do it? I would definitely appreciate that, Asri. That would be really, really nice. Let's see. Any more questions, anyone? Because I wasn't planning on this to be a super long stream, honestly. It's just gonna be a stream to let out my feelings and whatnot. But if you guys have, like, any other questions before I go, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, I really, really appreciate you guys coming over and just, like, hearing me out. Because I held on to these feelings for a very long time. I'm happy, like, I finally had the chance to express them. And I also think Matthew, because if it wasn't for Matthew, like, kind of just, like, being so brave to type up that document and just, like, post it, I probably wouldn't have gone the bravery either. Especially helped because, like, looking at that document helped me, like, you know, realize how I should go about things.
Matthew. I love you so much, Matthew. I'll give you all the hugs next time I see you in person. Yeah, Matthew, you are absolutely wonderful. I'm so glad I got to meet you. I think that's probably a good note to end it on. There I go. I was just trying to press the keys uh, to not have it rain anymore. Yeah, thank you all so much. You guys are absolutely wonderful. And in terms of the rest of my schedule, I think I might be able to finish a Wind Waker on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be trying to do some grinding and hopefully finish that dungeon in Persona 4 Golden on Wednesday. I'm taking Thursday off. And Friday, I'm going to do 6. Hopefully I can try and do 7. I can't make any promises. I wanted to do 6 last week, but then just like I decided that no, I am just gonna start getting ready to tell my side of the story when it came to Knothole. And yeah, here we are. Let's see who we can raid. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know. On second thought, maybe not raid someone actually, because with me talking about drama and whatnot, I wouldn't want to just go to another person's chat like, oh yeah, I was talking about drama, so maybe I won't raid someone today. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here, honestly. But thank you all so much. Things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better for all of us. Whether it's with me, you know, continuing streaming and just spreading smiles across people's faces. Also, Casey! Hello! Hello! Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the gift sub, Casey, Azri. You take care, Danny. Everything will be alright. No. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna continue spreading smiles to people's faces, letting people be themselves around me. Sorry to pop it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm probably gonna have the VOD available if you want to hear my side of things, Casey. I'm also gonna have a brief summary of how I feel in a Twitter post and in my Discord. So yeah, it's all good. I'm happy to see you. Yeah. With that said, I hope you all a wonderful night. Knothole might be dying, but we're gonna keep its spirit alive. Through other means. Have a good night, everyone. Bye, everyone!